Hey guys, I just want to talk to you real quick. Some of y'all might know this, but this weekend I'm speaking for church, and the message I have it's a pretty simple message, but it just talks about how we have to go share our stories, our backstories with those around us. God has put us in a place for a purpose, and even though we may not know what that purpose is, He has a plan, and the best way for us to witness to people is by simply telling our story, because my main point in this whole message is it's simple, and it's that people can argue every aspect of a religion. They can argue about what church to go to. They can argue about doctrine. They can argue about how to interpret scriptures. They can argue all that stuff. But the one thing they cannot argue is your story. No one can disprove what God has done for you in your life. And by simply sharing with others what He's done for you, whether it's a big, fantastic story or a pretty simple, I've been a good person story, it doesn't matter. You have a backstory and you've got to tell it. Well, I kind of sent Lee a message, and I just said, hey man, I got a challenge, and I want to put this out there to our people because I think it's important, because I know you guys as well as I do, we truly believe that we are the beacon in our community. We are that light that's going to shine for God in our community, and we have to be proactive. We have to be bold. We have to go out and do the things God's called us to do, and one of them is to go spread our stories so that others can be touched by our stories and led towards Him. So what I'm going to challenge our people to do Sunday is to simply come up and write down a name on a piece of paper, and that name is going to represent someone in their lives that they need to share their story with. Now, each person is going to be different and all that, but I wanted to come with you guys first and put this on you and challenge you all first to find someone in your life, in your very own story, to simply share your story with. Because you never know what someone's going through, and they may just need to hear how you were kicked down and God will help bring you back up. You know, maybe they look at you as someone who they just wish they could be one day, and you look at them and go, hey, you know what? I had a really rough past. I had some times in my life where I was at the bottom of the barrel. Well, I didn't know what was going to happen, but God brought me through it. And that's what they need to hear, is say, wait a minute, if He can bring him through it, and I see where you are today, what can He do for me? So I want to challenge you all. I want to make you guys the front on this, because us, meaning all of us who are visual people of this church, we're leaders. And I've talked to the praise band about it before, that no matter whether we want to be or not, people look at us as leaders because they see us. And like Delton and Tommy and you guys, I know that people look at you as leaders of this church because you lead certain parts of our ministry. And so I want to put it on you guys to challenge you. Now, I know some of you have no problem with this. You do it all the time. And I just want you to continue doing it and to do it bigger and better and more of it. But for the ones who say, I don't know, I have a hard time kind of sharing sometimes, hey, try sharing your story with somebody that you see on a regular basis. Someone that, you know, you say, I know you pretty well, but you know what? Maybe it's time you heard my story, and let me just show you a little glimpse of where God has brought me. So I challenge you to do that. The second part of this challenge for our leaders is I want you to start praying for our church. Praying for these people that on Sunday when this message is brought, it will fall on ears that are receptive, on hearts that are open and just waiting for that call to come out and say, you know what, that's exactly what I need to hear, and that's exactly what I've got to do so that they're empowered to go out and share their story. Guys, I want you to pray for each person in our church. You all know who are going to be there. It doesn't really matter who's there, because God's going to make sure that whoever's there is going to be the ones that need to hear it. So I want you guys to start praying over this service. I want you guys, and if you will, and the big thing I'm big on is accountability. If you will, just find one person and say, hey, like if I were to go to Pastor Lee and say, hey Lee, I'm going to talk to a guy I work with. His name is Mick. I want to share my story with him. And then that way Pastor Lee can hold me accountable to that, because I would expect him to say, hey Bryant, have you talked to Mick about this yet? Have you shared with Mick yet? So find one person and get them to hold you accountable to it. Because if you're not held accountable, it's no big deal. You can just kind of pass it off. But if someone's holding you accountable, you can't just pass it away. So, challenge laid down, guys. I want you to accept it. We are the beacon. We are the light in this community. I'm proud of you guys. I'm so excited to see where Lighthouse is going. I promise you, there are big things happening. I know Pastor Lee and Heather, they're on top of it. They know what's coming and they're excited about it. But I promise you guys, catch just a little glimpse of it, and it's going to blow you away. I hope you all have a great night. I hope this finds y'all well. Piper is doing good. We're tired, of course. It's been a long day. But I just want to make sure you guys got this. I was going to talk to y'all tonight at practice, but we had to cancel that. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a good time tonight and the rest of the week. Challenge out there, guys. Hope you guys accept it, pick it up, and run with it. Let's lead our church. We are the leaders. Let's step up.